everyone, it's so nice to see you. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start skipping the intro video. What do we think? Do we like that? Do we dislike that? So the thing is, Twitch used to do a thing where they were like, as soon as you drop in, ads. And so I was like, cool, I'll put the intro video and people skip the ads. But now they defer the ads for the first 15 minutes. And I put the video up as like a tutorial on like YouTube. And the other reason is that I now have to click the button. So yeah, how do you feel about me getting rid of the intro video? Anyway, let me tell you what I'm working on today. Today I am working on the sponsors generator for Ruby events. So we have a whole bunch of these, hang on, RubyConf Austria. So we have a whole bunch of these sponsor files. Austria 2026 sponsors. Da-na-na-na. We have a bunch of these sponsor files. Hi, Macabre Man. It's nice to see you. Hello. Okay, so we have a bunch of these sponsor files, right? And the thing is, like, a lot of times we'll generate these and then we'll continue to generate more sponsors as we go through the month, basically. And it starts to get to the point where we're actually going to have the event. So for example, for this one, we have Platogo with a booth. We have 3 gold online, and then we have 4 online. But if we go look at the website, we can see Platogo still has their booth, but there's 5, Team Taylor and Undercover are missing, and then there's 5 online ones. These ones are all missing, and this happens a lot. So what I want to do is, instead of just using my generator to create this file the first time, I want to use it to actually add items to the file. Let's look at the usage file that we have right now. So we want to say generate a sponsors.yaml file for a given event with sponsors organized into tiers. And maybe we'll add on to that a little bit. And we'll say, if the file already exists, adds the sponsor in the correct location, in the correct tier. If the sponsor already exists in the file, updates the existing sponsor record. Yay! And for the weird issues where it's like, oh, this person has actually sponsored in 2 different tiers, we'll just add that ourselves because we can still edit and modify these files. All right, so here's my first example. I want to create a new sponsors.yaml file for an event with the first sponsor added. Sweet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say bin rails generate sponsors, my event, my tiers. My tiers are going to be comma separated, my name, my website, my logo URL, and this will create our sponsors file. Then add a new sponsor to an existing sponsors.yaml file, and here's our exact example. Bin Rails G sponsors event, and there you can see RubyConf Austria 2026. Our name is going to be Team Taylor. The website is teamtaylor.com. The tier is, well, that's not right. Hang on. The tier says booth, but this is actually gold online. Gold online. And there's our logo URL. Excellent. So the way I want this to work is if I do not pass like tiers, like I want to only pass tiers on the first pass. And so my thought is I can structure this so that when we're first creating it, we expect there to be tiers and we set them. And then after that, we're just adding to those existing tiers. Right now, this is where I have sponsor details, and you can see there's this existing sponsor. What I want to be able to do is look through the other sponsor files and see if this sponsor has already existed based on the name or based on the slug or the URL. And then I want to go pull those details and fill this in with that. Let's see, we're going to keep going through here. This one right here gets my sponsors document using Yerba, which is a tool in Ruby for parsing YAML files. in searching YAML files and mutating YAML files. Then we have our tiers, and this is just at tiers or equals options tiers or sponsors document tiers or just sponsors. So if they have not specified the tiers at all, we're just going to give them a sponsors tier. If the sponsors document has already defined tiers, we want to use that one. Otherwise, we're just going to use options tiers. That feels right. All right, now we're going to find and delete the existing sponsor in the file. All right, so here we're going for file sponsor, sponsors document, 0.tiers.sponsors find. We're going to go through all of those and find a sponsor that has the same name, if it's all downcased, the same website, and the same slug, or the same slug. This is or. If we did find a match, then I want to set this equal to the Ruby object, and then I want to do a binding.irb, and then I want to do a file sponsor.delete. That feels like it should work. And last but not least, we're going to add the sponsor to the tier. Now, my theory is this team Taylor example is not actually going to call this at all, because it's not going to find the matching sponsor. So we don't have to worry about that part yet. We're actually focused on this part, which is adding the sponsor to the tier. And here we have sponsor document.tiers.find. So we're going to find our tier, or we're going to put them in the last tier, and then we're going to add our sponsor details to that tier. Okay, I'm going to come in here and do a binding.irb. And then I'm going to take this usage example. I'm going to do a quote star to yank yank. And then I'm going to run it. Let's see what happens. I believe in you. No! Okay, so this says sponsors document.tiers.find. And this is failing. That, I think, makes sense to me. So let's hop into that section. I'm going to come in here. DX Woo! Hello! DX says morning chill. Good morning! Okay, I'm going to go in here. Oh, hang on. I'm going to add a binding.irb. Okay. Run that again. Good. Okay, so we stopped here. I want to look at sponsors document. Good. Now, I tried .tiers. I don't think that's valid. I think what we actually want is something more like tiers. Stony Eagle says, hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you too. Okay. Oh, and the other thing I saw was that we always have to start with this. Hang on. 0. Thank you for following, Fernand Lewis. DXWell says, more like tears when it crashes. Ah, got it. Tears when it crashes. I'm actually okay with it crashing as long as it's like the thing that I expect. Then I'm like, we're all good. Okay. I am in a tier. This is good. Here's what I want to do. I'm in my tier. I'm going to get the first one. I have a map. I have a selector. And then I'm going to do .name. Nope. Okay. Let's try this. We're going to try putting this inside .name. Let's put that inside here. Now I have nothing. No, no, no. No. Stony says, still so formal with my full name. How to do, ma'am? Good day, sir. I don't know why I decided to blend like Australian and Southern there. Hungry Hungry Hippo says, sneaky stream today. No notification, Bible Thump. I can tell you exactly what's happening. First of all, you've got me all to yourself. Second of all, we're gonna have to use push CX for this one. Okay, if you look right here at your notification, you may have noticed there's now a little star on it. Miles Swoop says, ooh, I got an email about it, which is why I joined. Welcome, good to see you, Miles. Hope your streams have been going as well. Fernand Lewis says, hi, what are you doing? Let me explain personalized notifications on Twitch, and then I will explain what I am doing. Okay, so Twitch has introduced this thing called personalized notifications, and anybody who was set to always has now moved to that. Oh, Hungry Hippo says, oh, I was talking about Discord notifications. Are you an early bird? I don't think you are, but the Discord notifications are very late. Yeah, can't help that. Miles Swoop says, hi, thanks. Okay, great. Fernand Lewis, what are you doing? Okay, since we're not talking about the fact that Twitch has moved everybody to personalized notifications, which means you don't get notifications for the people you followed, you only get notifications when Twitch thinks you want a notification. Let's go back to talking about what we're talking about. Phantom Glitch says, hi, Chael. Hi, Phantom Glitch. Okay. I have this generator to generate this YAML. This YAML is the sponsor's YAML, which is what populates the sponsors here. I want to make it so that I can call it with a sponsor, and it will either update that sponsor, use the existing values from that sponsor, or like, I don't know, like add that sponsor to the file. Because right now, if we look, we have 3 Gold Online sponsors, and RubyConf Austria actually has 5. And so the trick is that we would like to have all, 5 of them. That's the trick. Stony Eagle says, sometimes Discord notifications are earlier than Twitch in-app notifications. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. I do not know what the deal is with Twitch. I cannot fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna try this again. .first .value nil. No, this is not what I want. Okay. We're gonna do .first. This is a sponsor. Good. Why am I working on this section again? Oh yeah, I'm trying to find the matching tier. That's right. That's right. And this is the location we need to add
sponsored by Ruby, coming soon TM.
Jail code sponsored by Ruby. I don't think that one's happening anytime soon. Phantom Glitch just subscribed for 5 months in a row. Thank you so much for 5 months. Okay. How? It doesn't show the total. Oh, no, it does. Okay. Stony says, guess who's working on his native iOS client app? This bird. That sounds fun. Yeah, I have not done any app development for like years. Like at least 8, probably. Okay, here we go. I have this first. I want to get name. Can I do this? Name. I can. .value. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, so I have my tier. Instead of doing this, we're gonna say, hey, I wanna look. Oh, look at you. You figured out what I want. How did you figure out what I want? Anyway, so this isn't right yet. So we have the first. What we actually need to do is say, yep, that's right. Name.value and .downcase equals options tier 2s .downcase. Or we just say, if we could not find it. Can I do this? I think I can. Yeah, we just do that. I think I can. Yeah. Stony said, just got my Mac set up, so it's going to be a challenge since I don't know anything about Swift yet. Do you still build iOS apps in Swift? The last time I built an iOS app was before I left college. So it's been like a very long time for that one. Okay. This should now work. So I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna try calling this again. And let's see what happens this time. No, it failed. Where did it fail and why? Tier.sponsors is not real. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I think this has to be sponsors. And maybe it's even like that. I'm gonna put this here. Stony said, I am not using React Native, lol. Yeah, I remember when that was making the rounds. I remember everybody complaining about it. Honestly, I'm kind of complaining about React itself. We're using it at work, and it's just been... Part of the reason is that the code in general is a mess, but like it's been a mess to work with in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Good. That looks good. Okay, let me try sponsor details. That's a struct. 2H. That's an object. Cool. Now I'm gonna try tier sponsors sponsor details dot 2H. I don't know if that worked, because that's like, that's not a Yerba object. It sure doesn't look like it worked. Yes, that Elise, hello. Yes, that Elise says, React do be like that. Yes, it does. Also, it's so nice to see you. I've been meaning to text and reach out, but I've been like wildly busy and drowning. Okay, so I feel like this was supposed to work, and I feel like it was supposed to add my sponsor. Yes, that Elise says, same. Yay. Okay. I feel like this was supposed to work, and it did not. As evidenced by the fact this file has not changed. Unless, like, I have to save it. Do I have to save it? Let me try this. I'm gonna try sponsors documents .2H. No, that didn't work. It didn't like that. I'm gonna guess... No. Sponsors document singular. Hang on, I just got that on the wrong thing. Okay, so that worked. I have like an actual object here. And I'm gonna look through here and see... so we're looking for the section with gold online. And we have get butler type sense app signal. But we don't have the new one. Okay, let me try. I think that's because I just inserted this. It's not in the document for sure. Like that clearly didn't work. Let me try. I'm gonna look at the documentation. Code. Tux! Tux says, hello, how you doing? I'm doing good, how are you? Okay, I'm gonna look through here. There should be something in here about mutating things and saving them. So this is all like the command line interface commands and stuff, but we're using like the Ruby API. Let's see, we're gonna go down here. Ruby API, Ruby API, come on. Let's go, here we go, Ruby API. Okay, so we do the document parse, we did that. Reading values, that all works. Fetch, dig, returning nil for missing path, value at to get the plain Ruby value. Maybe this would work. Hit a carrot Batasai. Hey, I'm seeing all my old friends today. It's nice to see you all. Ooh, exciting. Tux says, great. Finished the basics of the blog app. Didn't catch everything, but steady improvement. Yay, that's exciting. I feel like that's where I am too, where I'm like steady excitement. Okay, so you can modify values in place. The original formatting is preserved. You can do this dot value, or you can set it. You can insert with positional control. Work with sequences using familiar Ruby patterns. So you can say tags equals document tags. You can do an array. You can add or you can remove. See, this is the thing that I just tried. This is the thing that I just tried, I feel like. Is there a save? Because I feel like I just tried that. Yeah, because that's like document tags. Because this is the tier. Let me try that. I'm gonna do tier square bracket. Let me just do tier. So if I look at tier, I have type sense, I have app signal. Okay. I have get butler, type sense, app signal. Okay, and now I want to add, so if I do sponsor details.2h, that's my Team Taylor one. That's the Team Taylor one. And do the exact same thing as the thing told me to. So let me do tier. Maybe I just do sponsors. Ooh, because that's a sequence. Yeah, hang on. Sponsor details. Did that work? No, it still says app signal. 2H. Team Taylor's added. Team Taylor's added. Tux says stop learning JavaScript for now, primarily to Ruby and Rails for the moment. Yay! It's good timing for that. Yeah. I feel like Ruby and Rails is really like coming back and doing a lot of good things. Let's see. I'm happy to hear that. I have modified this. Now if I do like sponsors document 2H, I don't think I'm gonna see it. Oh no, it's in there. It's in there. I have it in there. Do I have to save it? Do I have to save it? It doesn't say I need to save it. Here's the location. Wildcard access. Akash says hello. Hello. Okay. This is collections. Save. Yeah, save. 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 I knew I need to save. Okay. And this might not work. Yay! Oh my gosh. It did it! Oh, it did it! It did it! It did the thing! It did the thing. Okay, it also added this weird little struct thing. I don't want that. Yeah, get out of here. Oh, nope. You. What is this? You don't go there. Oh, okay. Hang on. I've got some stuff. I've got some ideas of what might be happening. Okay, my 2H right now is gonna be everything. Akash says, what's up? Mouseswoop says, interesting that I can't see comments from multiple folks in chat. A privacy setting of some sort? So, the monetization rules for Twitch streamers changed. I'm going to say the word recently, but we're going to understand that recently means in the last year, which means I am now able to stream on both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously without getting banned from Twitch. So that's what I've been trying out lately, is streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, I think it's going well. I don't know, I'll have to hear from y'all. I will say that, like, I have had to, like, kind of learn the YouTube side of things. So by default, YouTube uses, like, normal latency, which is like, I've heard that it can be, like, minutes long. So yeah. Mouseswoop says, oh, cool. Oh, also, I have a ruby next to my name. That's awesome. Did you do that, Chill? Yay. Yes. So whenever you see that, that means that you are a VIP in a channel. Maybe I should see what this is like on YouTube for fun. It's the exact same thing, but you are welcome to follow me on YouTube and Twitch. You can compare, see which one gets the notifications faster. All right, let me see. Yeah, this worked. Oh, this almost worked. Yeah, this almost worked. We need to do one more thing. We need to say sponsor, yeah, dot save, bang. Perfect. Perfect. All right, now this is Slugify parameterize. Okay, so instead of doing .2s downcase tr, Rails has this thing that's like parameterize, and so all we need to do is slugify this. Perfect. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way up to this struct. Okay, so I've got this toHash. I want like a little method on my struct. Am I going to make myself some trouble by adding a method to a struct? Let's see. Add a method to a struct. No, in Ruby. Come on. Adding methods when subclassing struct. I would prefer like the actual Ruby documentation. This is silly. Akash says, how can I get a job? I'm currently a third-year college student and an intern at a startup company. My brain is frying up because I have backlogs. First of all, stay calm. Learn as much as you can about everything. When somebody hires an intern, that's really what they're looking for. They're not looking, I mean, they are looking at your output, but they're also looking for like, are you learning things? Are you picking up new things? Are you making the same mistakes over and over again? They're really looking for potential, and learning is how you do that. And honestly, if you've already got the internship, that's a pretty good start. Like when you either stay on with that company or you go searching for a different company, you've got that internship there to help your portfolio. So I would say you're already doing the things you need to do and just focus on learning and, you know, growing. The fact that you're here is a pretty good sign as well, because it means that you're doing it outside of work. Here we go. Struct.new. Struct.new. Little new structs. I'm gonna look down here. There should be like a array of symbols, struct subclass. I really just want to know how to like add a method to it. Here we go. Struct.new do end. Okay, and you add your classes inside that. Sounds good. The new subclass is struct customer. That's fun. I like that. Okay. Let's see. Hidakiri Batosai has been following Chill Codes for 6 years, 4 months, 11 days, and 22 hours. I know you've been one of my like longest, followers. Mouseswoop says, what I like to do at this point is just stop using struct and use a class instead personally. So I've definitely done that before. And I even mean like inside these specific generators. In this case, I'm only adding one method, which is, get out of here. Oh gosh, what is your name? I need a method that's not like 2H, but it's like for document. Yeah. That feels right. Hitakiri Benasai says, I can honestly say that I'm immensely grateful and happy that I came across your channel when I did. Aw, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yay. I knew that the longer I stuck with it, kind of like the more I would get out of it, or the more people would get out of it. And so like, yeah, it's nice to see some of that come to fruition. Oh, hang on. I talked to Marco and we agreed we can get rid of description. Yeah, website. Because it turns out we don't actually use that anywhere. Slug, logo URL. We're gonna strip out the tier. So I need the tier for when I'm setting things. Hitakiri says no more Vim keybinds. Yeah, I have them. See, Diddy. Bye. Let's see. Okay, so I have my name, my website, my slug URL, my logo URL, my badge. Perfect. Oh, right. And he said I could get rid of description, so I'll just boop. Goodbye. Yay. Okay. Name, website, slug, logo URL, badge, then compact. No, fine. Hi, nice to see you. And yeah, 4 years and 8 months. It's been a long time. I'm starting to get to the point where like the amount of time that like people have been following me is like telling people how old I am. Which is it was just fun. Okay, so we're gonna do, instead of 2H, we're gonna do for document. Perfect. The other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually move where this sponsor details is happening, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Delete. I'm gonna actually move that to below here. Prior to this, we're working off of the options. And let me check that. Okay. So instead of sponsor details, we're going to do options. Options, name in downcase. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Let me reverse that. Ah. Let me put it back up here. Oh. This is the right one. This one I do want to do for document. So the thing, oh, hang on. Georgie, I wonder who that is. Says, well, hello from YouTube. Sounds like you're using a delay pedal due to a 2-second difference in lag between the two. I'll have to mute one, but double the chill codes today. Yay. Okay, so it sounds like YouTube has a 2-second difference in lag, which is the thing that YouTube is known for, is significant delay. But if I think about it, like if I was talking 2 seconds, like it doesn't really feel that bad, maybe? I don't know. Akash says, I'm making my own AI assistant, simultaneously watching stream like Siri. Even better than that, RAG local AI agent, no third-party API calling. What should I add in this to make it unique? I don't know. I think you gotta figure that out yourself. But I do like, yeah, that sounds like a really fun project. And I like the open source models aspect of it. Let's see. Akash says it will be open source and I want people to like it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some personality. That's what I would probably focus on. Now hang on. VS Code. Oh no. OBS is frozen. Hey, what's happening? Tired Beaver says Oreo Cookie Monster. Well, hello to you too. No! Wait, is my mouse broken? I can hover and not click. No, that's clicking. Okay, now I can click again. That was super weird. I had to turn my mouse off and back on again in order to be able to click things. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let me think about this a little bit. So I set my sponsor here with name, website, slug, logo, tier, badge. Good, those are all the values I need. I use them in here to find the event sponsor. Now, if I find an existing one, what values do I want to update? I think what I want to do is I want to say, hey, if name does not exist, website, slug, logo URL, tier, etc., I want to set them. Which ones do I want to set? I want to be able to clear badge. Hitokiri says, Lol might be assigned to go full terminal. No, I like VS Code. I like that I can use dev containers. Honestly, that's the big one right now is dev containers. But then also the extensions are kind of nice. Although I'm not using that many of them. Okay, so I'm gonna do sponsor details dot name or file sponsor name dot value. So if it exists, it's not gonna set anything. If it doesn't, it will. And then logo URL, tier, and badge. So I don't want to overwrite tier. What happens if I don't pass a badge value? Can I pass a nil badge value? No. I can pass a blank badge value though. So let me try this. Sponsor details dot badge or equals file sponsor badge dot value unless, oh no wait, it would be set. Yeah, never mind, it would be set. The situation I was trying to think about is like, what if my badge is set to nothing? But if that's the case, it would just set my badge to nothing. So logo URL slug website name. I think that's right. And then I don't think I need this. I don't think I need to keep the event sponsor. I think I'm just updating this. And the big thing is I do not want to update the tier. You know what? I'm actually... Do I want to make tier required? It is required because it sponsors. Yeah, so tier will never be nil. Okay, I'm gonna go through my options. I have name, which is not required. I have website, which is not required. Tier, which is required. Logo URL, not required. Badge, not required. Tiers, not required. Required? Actually, I think this is required. I think if you don't put anything, it's required. So I'm gonna say required, colon, false. Let's see. Tired Beaver says, what skills are valuable to have in 2026 as a person starting out in their career? The things that I think are still important in software design are systems thinking. So looking at a system and thinking about how you can improve it. Problem solving. So like understanding what problems people have and whether or not your solution will actually solve them. And just in general technical skills so that you can verify whether or not whatever it is that you're getting is going to work. When you say like, what skills are valuable to have in 2026? It almost implies what skills are valuable to have in a world where we have AI development. And I think that I strongly agree with the people who say that like, if you can't do it without AI, you can't do it with AI. And really what I mean by that is you can't do it with AI safely and in a way that's going to be performant in production, and you can't really debug any issues that come up. I recently got bit by this because I was working on an existing like set of input fields, and like I largely was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this with AI. I'm taking these fields, I'm pulling them up to a higher value, but because the way it was constructed had been patched over time and like changes made to it, and it was kind of like spaghetti code. Because of that, it ended up breaking in a lot of like unexpected ways that I didn't even know to test for when I first started working with it. And so I think that understanding how to code, understanding how to read code, understanding how to debug code, understanding how systems work and how to refactor them are all still incredibly important, even though we now have AI. And Akash says, customizable assistant, VS Code is love. Using it since I was 14 or 15. Yeah, I really like VS Code. When you say you've been using VS Code since you were 14 or 15, that I was talking earlier about how some of the people in chat ages me. That one ages you too. It hasn't been around that long. Okay, so I have my 4 document. I have my tiers. This is good. So I have my file sponsor, name, website, slug, logo, URL, badge. I find it. Add it to the last, sponsor details for document, sponsor save. I think what I might do is like, well, I don't know. I'm okay with creating a file that doesn't have any tiers in it. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with if you start off, okay, let me back up and tell you what I'm talking about. So right now, the way this is constructed, when we create a sponsor file for the first time, we use this template header.eml.tt sponsors file unless sponsor exists sponsor file. What that does, let me open this, is it creates this tier, right? And so we have this at tiers.each do tier this. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, we need to call tiers before we ensure the sponsor exists. There we go. Or before we ensure the file exists. There we go. Okay. So we go in here and we create all of our tiers, but we create them empty, right? So the way we do that is we say, hey, what are the options? The default option is just an array with sponsors in it. Hang on. Where did you go? Tiers. There you are. So the default option is just... Wait, why do you not have a default option? Hang on. Let me default this one. I think this is what I want. Yeah. I'm going to say default sponsors group fields. So if I do not pass tiers, it's just going to dump all of them in sponsors. What's going to happen is we're going to go here. We're going to be like, okay, give me my struct, give me my sponsors file, give me my tiers, make sure the file exists. At this point, it's going to make a sponsors file. Then we're going to come through here. We're going to make that. We're going to find and delete an existing sponsor in the file. It's not going to find one. We're going to add a sponsor to a tier. Because there's no tier set, or the tier is sponsors, it's just going to dump the sponsor into that tier or into the last tier, and that's fine. And that means all of them are just going to be in sponsors. And then if somebody later comes through here and they add a tier, it's not going to create a tier for them. They're going to have to go in and they're going to have to edit the file manually. And I think I'm fine with that. What I want is I want to be able to say like, hey, I'm just going to add these few sponsors and it does it for me. Oh, Miles Hoop says some additional skills I can mention that are sometimes overlooked are soft skills like people skills and communication skills. I think some things like curiosity can help as well. I think these wind up helping to open doors somewhat independent of how the tools evolve over time. Yeah, curiosity and like getting along with people is just, it benefits everything. John Sugar says, yes, transferable skills. Those skills that are useful in all jobs. They help you to progress in any career. Yep. Akash says, VS Code is not that old. I'm 20. Yeah, when you said that you started working with it when you were 14 or 15, I was sitting there thinking to myself and I was like, it's not that old, which means you're not that old. Sorry, I didn't mean to like call you out on that. It's just that I had just like said before that like, oh, I've got people here who are like, who've been here for 6 years and stuff. John Sugar says, be back later, guest dinner, etc., etc. Bye. Okay. I think this works. Y'all want to test it with me again? Here's usage. And this one is like updated sponsors tier. We can test that. Yeah, I know how we can test this. Hang on. So we were talking about these RubyConf Austria ones and like undercover. Let's make them online and then we'll make them gold online. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I don't want to edit this here. Hang on, I'm just gonna like, this has been like a little bit driving me nuts. No, I can't use this right now. Ugh. Where can I do this? Oh, I know where I can do this. Adding sponsors. Yes. So this is my documentation for people. Go in here and go YAML. Okay. Sponsors data is stored in YAML files within the conference event directories. Each conference can have its own sponsors file that defines sponsor tiers and individual sponsor information. Excellent. Let me get commit-pm add a sponsor. Add a new sponsor to an existing file. Honestly, this thing that I've just done is revolutionary. Oh shoot, my tests don't work. Okay, yes. 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 All that is good. Okay, good. Do I need to slugify? Did I set the slug in here? I did. Okay, good. Good. That's where I want to do that. Well, and what I can do is I can do the sponsor first, and then I can go in here and I can update. Yeah. That works for me. Okay. Usage, adding sponsors. Well, and actually, if I find an existing sponsor, there's only a couple that I actually want to update. Anyway, let me run the sponsors generator test. Because my guess is that all of the things for that are wrong now. Sponsors generator test. No, it failed. Can you run in terminal? Why are you failing? You're so rude. You match the pattern. Oh, it's test lib Ruby LSP is always causing me trouble. Rude. Alright, let me copy relative path. Bin, Rails, test, Control V. My guess is all of these fail. Akash says people make documentation manually. IDK that. I just explain everything to AI and copy paste. Yeah, I want to make sure that whatever I write looks really good. So I do like read through it, edit it. And in this case, I'm just making a couple modifications. And in particular, I like for my examples to be accurate. And to like match reality versus being something that is kind of generated. Hungry Hippo says, I don't think I've ever had any luck getting Ruby LSP to work. It always seems to be broken. It is definitely fragile. That's for sure. Okay, undefined method parameterized for nil. Okay, that's a good point. Let's see. Why is my name nil though? I mean, I allow my name to be nil, so I should not fail if that happens. We can just do name and not parameterize. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, do I need this method at all? Like, I call this in one location, and like, it's one method, so I could easily come in here and say options name and dot parameterize. And then I'd have my slug. Okay. Let me go in here, sponsor generator test. Oh, that mouse is giving me some trouble again. All right, so I've got my prepare destination, generator populate sponsors.yaml with arguments. So all of this does not match what we like right here anymore. Also, why is this doing all this stuff? What is this platinum tier missing stuff? Oh, these are the error messages. Minitest always throws me because I'm like, assert match this, and then that's the error message. Okay. So I'm gonna assert nothing matches when I run something for the first time. Sweet. And it looks like what we're doing here is we're generating out our tiers. I'm gonna ask you that. Yeah. So for this first one, this is gonna generate an temp file, so it's fine. Yeah. Generator populates sponsors.yaml with arguments. Yeah, and I'd want that to be the arguments that I would use to generate. So let's see, we want tiers. Yes. I don't think I need this. I think I've eliminated that as a requirement. So my tiers are platinum gold. Do I have any other tiers for this? So I'm gonna look at Tropical on Rails 2026 sponsors. All right, so you have platinum, gold, silver. Platinum, gold, and silver. Okay, whatever. Platinum, gold, silver. Then the event, Tropical on Rails, name, TypeSense website, TypeSense, logo, TypeSense, badge. Did TypeSense have a badge? No. Let me see if somebody did have a badge. None of these people had badges. So I'm fine with that. We're gonna strip out the badge bit. I can test the badges later. Yeah, that feels good. And so I want to assert match platinum, and then we're going to say platinum tier missing, gold, type sense, app single is no longer present there. Yep, type sense website missing, type sense logo URL missing, type sense content, gold content. I want to make sure that my silver tier is present. Type sense sponsor missing. That feels right. Akash says, do you have any ideas about things like bug bounty carding penetration testing? I will say that the security scene right now is starting to be very hesitant about bug bounties, and they're ending a lot of those programs because from what I've seen, people have been generating a lot of AI generated security reports. So they don't actually find a real bug. They just have AI look for something that looks like a bug. Yeah. Phantom Glitch says, I heard CSEC. Ha, I'm your man. So yeah, Phantom Glitch, what do you think about things like bug bounty carding and penetration testing? Akash is new to tech and trying to like third year graduate, trying to like figure out what they want to do in their direction and stuff. Alright, file.delete, file join, yep, that's good. Sponsors.yaml passes schema validation. Yes, that looks good. Alright, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna say test generator ads and new sponsor to the specified tier. Okay. This does not do the thing that I asked for. So that's fun. Alright, so we're gonna run the generator, tiers, platinum, gold, silver, event, Tropical Unrails 2026, name, typesense, website, typesense logo. Assert file match. Cool. Now we're gonna run generator, braze. That feels good. I like how they do this whole braze sponsor not added to the correct tier, but it's really like, it's just braze sponsor not added. Okay, this should be a method. Do I need that anymore? Not really. I could grab these three and pull them into a method. I'm gonna make a def, which is sponsors file passes validations. Yay! Not you. You. Delete that. And we're gonna need to pass in file path. Yay. Cool. Yeah, that feels right. Phantom Glitch says, I find it's a lot down to personal preference and what aspect of cyber you'd enjoy. If you feel like you want to sink your teeth into massive bug hunting programs, I'd say it can be one of the most rewarding options, but as Shale said, AI is causing issues in the market at the moment. Yep. Alright, so now what I can do... hang on. I want this to actually be file.join destination root file path. Yes, then I don't have to deal with all that. I just come in here and I say like, hey. Well, and what I can do is I can say like, hey, sponsors file path. Yeah. equals that, that. Perfect. Sponsors, file passes validations. Looks good. Delete that, delete that. Yep. Oh yeah, I guess I do need to do that. Well, if I have to do it for the delete, I may as well do it outside of this then. Yeah, I may as well do this outside this. All right, let me come in here and I'm just gonna make this file path equals. Where are you coming from? Oh, you're coming from this. Yeah. And we'll just name this file path. You can be file path. You can be file path. You can be file path. Yep, that sounds good. Akash says, I'm not new to tech. I learned these things without AI in 2019 to 2021. And after that, I got to know about Android OS development. I've explored that domain for nearly 2 years. And then Google said Android will be closed source. And now I'm exploring web dev, DevOps, LLM, AI, MLOps. But I'm not a master at any of these. I can just survive. And that's what I'm afraid of. Phantom Glitch says, pen testing is one I'm personally invested in, and I can say it's very fun, but also very taxing to keep up with cyber criminals and the constantly evolving threat landscape. Hungry Hippo says, some of the exploits cyber criminals come up with are insane. Like the one where they stuff exploit code inside of emojis. Like, how did they even think of that? Yeah. I like my web dev stuff. Let's see, files.join. Okay. Yeah, so I already have my file path. Yes. I wonder if this finds the file. Anyway. File path. And then inside here, after this, yeah, I want to check that. Perfect. Let's see. Yeah. After the generator runs, we'll call our file path. Let's see. File path. Perfect. Done. So, generator populates sponsors.yaml with arguments. Generator adds a new sponsor to the specified tier. Sponsors.yaml passes this. Let me take a look. Now, theoretically, I should not need the tiers anymore. It should just pull them. I do need to specify the tier for this particular one. Gold would be perfect, because this one is platinum. Why do you not have a tier? Come on. Platinum. Perfect. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and see if it'll let me. Yeah, it's fine with that. Perfect. Akash says, have you ever been to dark web? It's fun. Me personally, no. The closest I've gotten is like torrenting anime. Phantom Glitch says, let's see. Usually it's down to a community effort of getting beta software or day one releases and seeing just how far you can push it. Dark web forums are full of things if you know where to look. And it sounds like you have been to the dark web. Okay, that seems good. Tab. Yes, perfect. Let's see. I'm gonna keep going down. Event series, event. I don't think I need this test anymore because I've already tested that it matches with the other sponsor files. All right, I assert that nothing raises. Phantom Glitch a few times. It's not as dark as most people make it out to be. Tab. What are you fussed at? Yeah. Tab. 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 Yep, that feels right. I want to see that all of these exist. Honestly, I should probably be looking for something like name. Platinum. But that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna run this and I expect it to pass. And it fails. Undefined method value for nil. Alright, so we're going to add a new sponsor to the specified tier. Undefined method value for nil. This happened in block, in sponsors generator, add value to tier, array.find, add sponsor to tier. Undefined method value for nil. Sponsors find T name. Did I do my tiers wrong? Inside of the header.yaml thing? I think I did. Okay, hang on. Let me look at this. Yeah, this is not how this is structured at all. It's like name, level, sponsors. Okay. Hang on. I'm so silly. Okay. So this needs to be like name, space. This one is like sponsors, space. What else is there? Level. That's right, there's level. I remember this. Let's see. Sand Paturtle says, Akash, if you're on Trail's Discord and would like to chat CSEC at any point, shoot me a ping. I'm Sand Paturtle. Akash says, Phantom Glitch is correct. People just made it complicated. I have to learn English. Well, no, I mean, like, it's yeah. It's all good. Let's see. Undefined method parameterized for nil. Why do you keep trying to parameterize nil things? Okay, anyway. I know what I'm doing here. That's wrong. Name level sponsors. You want a blank between each one. Do you know what else this is missing? So these little dashes, when you put them with the ERB tags, they remove white space so that there's no white space caused by those. Here's sponsors. Level, I'm gonna do an each with index. I'm gonna do a tier, comma index, and then this level is going to be my index. Perfect. For each of these, I'll have a tier and an index. At bare minimum, I will have sponsors. And let me double check this. Yes. Yes. Okay, so docs adding sponsors.md, do not remove to do until event is over and all sponsors are added. To do, add missing sponsors. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I'm gonna try and expand this section because it's pretty cramped. So the failure here is type send sponsor not added to the correct tier. Expected type spends to add. Matching, level, sponsors, blah, 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 blah. Platinum tier missing. Expected name platinum to match docs, blah, 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 blah. Name. No! Don't, no! Look, it made the tiers all of them. Let me go split on a comma. Why would you do this to me? Hang on, I'm gonna go through here. Where's this little tiers thing? Yeah, I hear this option tiers. Split. Comma. Thank you. And it's gonna tell me that these are supposed to be double quoted. Yeah. Fine. Double quoted. Okay, I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna click this. And I'm gonna run it. Come on. Come on, do the thing. Okay. Expected name platinum to match doc setting sponsors. Do not remove. What? No. 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 No, 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 no. No. Where are you doing that? At tiers, each with index do name tier. At tiers. Tiers equals options tiers dot split comma. That's supposed to be an array. Why are you? What is this? Hang on. What did I pass in? I passed a string. Oh no, I have to go back to the thing in order to see it. Hang on. I mean, worst case scenario with this test, it really like. See, look, platinum, comma, gold, comma, silver. What? Platinum, comma, gold, comma, silver. Why? Hang on. Also, this one is supposed to be tier platinum. Badge innovator. Okay, this is correct. This is what you're supposed to pass. Why are you not splitting? That's so weird. Hang on, what's your damage here? Oh, this one needs a comma. I'm gonna run this again, and I don't think it's gonna work. What are you doing? What are you doing? Platinum tier missing. Yeah, yes, the platinum tier is missing. Let me try this. So all of these are going into the temp folder. Oh, you have stuff in there. You're not supposed to have stuff in there. I'm gonna delete this entire folder. Okay, let's try running this again. Okay, it made some more generator files. Sponsors.yaml. Why are you doing this? Are you not like splitting on the comma? Do you not? Like what? Let me look at this. Like there is no reason that this would do this. Okay. This is not where I expected to have the issues. I'm just gonna say that. This is not at all where I expected to run into problems. Muhammad says, hello guys. Hello. Yeah, I did not expect splitting the tiers option into an array to be where we ran into issues. Do I have a default set here? I do. But I only used it the first time. And I have this here, so I technically don't need a default. I'm starting to move away from defaults because I feel like the absence of a value is actually helpful. And this is probably why. There we go. Human. What you doing? Are you stuck? Because when you're parallelized, you can't give me my binding.irb? Yeah, that is what's happening. Alright, let's go find somebody that has sponsors. That does not have any, like, input yet. Okay, Blast Off probably has a Ruby Retreat. Ooh, does the Ruby Retreat? The Ruby Retreat doesn't have any sponsors yet. But it has... Getting there... Where to stay... These are all far. None of these are walkable. These are all driving. Okay, we have sponsors. Ruby Retreat is a Ruby Australia event. Is run under the Ruby Australia Code of Conduct. Alright, so we have Assembly 4, Blue Thumb Art, and Bug Bob. Tiny problem. No sponsor tiers. Let's find a different one. That's a good one for testing. We generated the file. Thank you for following, Felion. But it's not a good one for testing the rest of this. Yuruko. Yeah, Yuruko has no sponsors. Here we go. Become a sponsor. That is the sponsorship packages. This looks great. No, they don't have any sponsors yet. The further ahead you go into the future, the fewer sponsors there are. Maybe I should just delete somebody's sponsors and recreate them. I feel like that would be easier. Does Railworld have sponsors? Okay, they don't have any listed. They have sponsorship tiers. Haha, they do have sponsors. They have lots of sponsors. They clearly have sponsorship tiers, but they have not displayed what those tiers are. I bet it says in the prospectus. What goes into about, what happens, see for yourself, sponsorship types, booth program experience, booths, platinum, gold, silver. Okay. Okay. Platinum, gold, silver. Yeah, I don't really want to like say these are platinum, gold, and silver without like knowing it. It really does look like it though, doesn't it? Like it looks like this is a group of sponsors. This is a group of sponsors. And then this is everybody else. I mean, this might be a new group of sponsors too. Let me inspect. Sponsor grid logo. Ah! Ah ha ha ha! Ah ha ha ha! Okay. It says what they are. Now I can know what they are. Oh, and they have other sponsors and member sponsors. Great. That's lots of tiers. I think we'll do platinum, gold, silver, other, member. That feels reasonable. Platinum, gold, silver, sponsors, members. Kill. This is not gonna kill. Quit. Yeah, quit. There. It doesn't... It's a parallelization thing. It's really annoying. Okay. Instead of testing it that way, we're gonna have to test it by generating something. Which takes me back to this spot. Okay, so event, we're gonna do Rails World 2026. Rails. Hey, thank you for following George Orbad. Rails World 2026. Tiers. Platinum, gold. Was there silver? I don't think there was. I think it just went straight down to like... No, there's silver. Okay, never mind. Silver. Sponsors. This one just says sponsors. I don't want to call them like other sponsors. Like that feels terrible. Okay, platinum, gold, silver, sponsors, and then member. That's probably Rails Foundation members. All right, now this will create, and we'll say Rails World 2026. Oh man, come on. Yes, sponsors.yaml. Name, sponsor name. Okay, cool. We need to grab an actual sponsor. App signal. Copy link. Copy link address. Yes. appsignal.com. Sweet. Logo URL. Copy image address. Excellent. Space slash. And then we do dash dash tier. Not tiers. And we say platinum. And I double check that information. Yes, platinum. Yeah, platinum is AppSignal, Procore, and Shopify. Excellent. Were there any other fields I needed to set? Oh, the name. Yeah, the name. Okay. AppSignal. Okay. AppSignal, website, logo URL, tier, platinum. Create a new sponsors.yaml file for an event with the first sponsor added. Okay. W 1 2 3 4 quote star for yank. I'm gonna run this. Okay, here are my tiers. Yes. Hey, Cursos de Desarrollo. Hello and welcome. What were you up to on your stream? Let me tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. So I'm working on a project called RubyEvents.org. Yay! Now, in this site, we have a whole bunch of sponsors. Hang on. For each of the events. So for example, here are the sponsors for Rails World. And we have a bunch of YAML to back those. Here's the YAML for RubyConf Austria. Now, what happens is we get a couple of sponsors in, and then we need to add some more. So what we've been working on is the ability to add and mutate existing sponsors in these files using our generator. The current issue we're dealing with is the fact that when I run the tests, if I say that my sponsors are like platinum, gold, silver, I just get one tier with platinum, gold, and silver in it instead of a platinum tier, a silver tier, and a gold tier. So that's what I'm currently working on. This is the code that controls the tiers. This is the code that controls the tiers. And this is me testing it out and seeing what is options tiers. What is options tiers dot split? Is that an array? That's an array. That's an array. Ah, little. Oh, no! No! This is not what I wanted. Okay. Cursos de Desarrollo says, I was recording the Linux course for YouTube. Good luck for that site. Thank you. The Linux course for YouTube. I know a couple of people that might be interested in that. Kevo Ox. Hola. Okay. Cursos de Desarrollo. Oh, do you stream on like YouTube and Twitch at the same time? I've just started doing that and I'm trying to get used to it. All right, let's see. Who is this? Cursos de Desarrollo. Da-na-na-na. Oh, cool. Okay. Webflux. Ah, I see. Here's the courses. Ah, of course. Cursos de Desarrollo all together. Oh, Cursos de Desarrollo all together. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just trying to pronounce it properly. Oh, and they're all members only videos. Cool. Oh, and then this is you. Hi. All fun. Okay, that looks cool. I'm gonna make sure I mute this. There we go. So that it doesn't like leak out anywhere. It's like dev courses. Yeah, people have asked me for those before, and I think that's a lot of work. That's a ton of work. So you have like so much respect from me for like dealing with that and doing that. All right, so right here, I have this as an array. So I think what this wants me to do is pass each of the tiers in as like a tier dash dash tiers platinum dash dash tiers gold dash dash tiers, etc. Savirine says, I met your brother in Cursos. What? Okay, I don't get this one. Okay, so I think this is my problem. And I think what I want to do here is I want to have a string. And we're going to say comma separated list of sponsorship tiers, e.g. platinum, gold. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Now it's going to create this, and I'm going to hate it. Because it's going to do this, which is annoying. So I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this entire file. Where's the file? Why can't I delete the file? Why do I not have literally anything to tell me where the delete is? Is it over here? Are you going to open for me? There we go. Delete. Delete permanently. My mouse is not clicking. Severin says, that's an obscure joke. It sounds like it. Okay, delete that forever. Delete! Yeah, I need to charge the thing in my mouse. Okay, let's run this again. I don't know why the click isn't working. Maybe it got something weird and goopy in it. Okay. I'm gonna do options. Tiers. Dot split. Comma. No, enter. Yay! Okay, good. Okay, now I created it. Let me go check it out. click. Click for me. No! Incorrect type. Expected string. Expected string? Expected string? Why do you expect a string? Oh, this is supposed to be a string. Yeah, I can fix that. I can fix that real quick. So I took all of this and I extracted it from another location. And when I say extracted it from the other location, I mean deleted it with a vengeance. I'm gonna have to, because my mouse is being all janky and stuff, I'm gonna have to start doing stuff like this. rm data / rails world. Get out of here. Actually, what does that say? 5% used, resets at June 1st. Sweet. Rails world 2026 sponsors.yaml. Delete it. Run it again. Let me try. Excellent. Actually, I want to go ahead and remove that because I know I don't need this anymore. Swap over to this one. Why are you still doing this? Do you really expect level to be a string? Also, you didn't add my first sponsor. That's rude. Also, you didn't add any of the things you were supposed to add. Oh, I haven't done it yet. Okay. Yay! Okay. Parts that are good. This is the correct structure. Parts that are bad. It did not add our first sponsor. I don't know why. I have name. I have website. I have logo URL. I have the tier. And I bet if I run this again, it'll add it. Nope. Why not? At least give me an error message. Let's see. Akash says, Cursos de desarrollo. God damn, your channel is so good and your content is fire, but I don't understand the language you speak. It's so good. I'm curious. How do you know it's so good if you haven't, like, if you can't speak the language? Okay, so here's ensure files exists. Yep, that's good. The file now exists. Now I'm gonna parse the file that exists. Yes, that all feels correct. There's sponsor details. This should not do anything. You know what? Let's go in here. And we're gonna do say updating existing sponsor. Yellow. I like that. And this is what? Name? I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to do sponsor detail. Well, maybe. But also double quotes. Come on. Don't make standard work harder than it needs to. Phantom Glitch says, Chill just radiates professional energy. I think I do the opposite. So this is finding it. Okay. This is the sponsors document. This is the tier. Okay. Let's do like say adding sponsor to tier. Well, and we say updating existing sponsor. Really, this is more like deleting existing sponsor. Like, let's just own that. I'm gonna scope out the existing values and delete them. And then this one is adding sponsor to tier. And that's let's see, tier name dot value. Okay, let's try this again. Do the thing. Give me an app signal. It says it's adding the sponsor and then it doesn't add the sponsor. I do this. This clearly worked. Why? Adding sponsor to platinum. Oh, gosh, this channel has tons of Linux tutorials, Kubernetes, AI, Olama course, Angular, TypeScript, Java, lots of good stuff. Exciting. Let's see. I clearly have the sponsor. I have the name, I have the website, I have the logo. It also clearly did not save it. Okay. I'm gonna do a binding.irb. And I'm just gonna check what's in sponsors document. Sponsors document, thank you. And I'm gonna say 2H. There's nothing in any of these, okay? What is tier? There's the tier. Okay. Tier, square brackets, sponsors, square brackets, close. What do you mean nothing? It's right there. It's right there. Tier sponsors. Oh, hang on. Nil. No, yeah, it's supposed to be the sequence. Okay, yeah. It's empty. It's an empty array. It's an empty array. Mouse Whip says, I think the cat knows what's wrong, but I don't speak cat. She is very insistent at the moment. Okay, let's try this. Sponsor details dot for document. Okay. Okay. This feels like the thing. I have a name, I have a website, I have a slug, I have a logo URL. Those are all the things I need. Those are the right values. Well, I'll just try this. Quote, star, yank, Control V. There it is. It's in the tier. And if I do like sponsor, oh, hang on. Do I have to do like tier 2H? No, it's missing. Where did it go? Pearl, come here. Come here. Come on. Hop, hop, hop. Phantom Glitch says you know what's wrong. So look at it. Look, look, look. Look, look, look. Take a look. Well, technically Miles Foob says you know what's wrong. But Phantom Glitch said it's cat attention time. So look at this. I have set the value in my tier, which we already tested. We already tried this, and it worked. I have the sponsors document not save. But when I call tier.2H, it doesn't have the sponsors in it. It has not been updated. Let me try tier. This doesn't make any sense though. Does not make any sense that I would do sponsors, square brackets. Oh. Akash says, what's his name? So her name is Pearl. This one is Pearl. The one over there on the couch is Ruby. She's right, let's see, in front of the blue pillow. There, that's Ruby. Pearl just pointed at her. Let's see. Okay, let me think. Why would this not work? Thank you for following, Sir3FX. Phantom Glitch says, I heard a kitty complaining and figured they might need a hug. Yeah, seems like it. Let me... Is it possible that it needs to have a value present before it will work. Let me try that. Like maybe this is an issue with cracking open this box. Like if I go in here and I just like copy this. No, not this one. If I add a different one. Let's see. Why did you suddenly... Oh, okay. We'll add like Procore or something. I don't know. Copy link address. Yeah, so we'll break this open. No, not you. Type sense is not... Anyway. Delete inner quote. Procore. I don't know if that's how they like to be. Yeah, sure, why not? Inner quote. Procore. Slug, Procore. And I'm gonna copy the image address. And delete inner quote. Procore. Perfect, okay. Here's what I'm gonna try. What? That was rude. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna run this again. Here's what I wanna test. No, it doesn't add anything. It doesn't do anything. What is happening? What is happening? The thing is that we just tested if mutations worked, and they did. Right? Like, we just tested that. And it did. Like, we tested that over with RubyConf Austria. Oh, wait. You don't actually have team... No, you do. We have Team Tailor. We added Team Tailor using this. So then why is it doing nothing now? I'm going to put my binding.art breakdown here. Add my sponsors. I'm just gonna call this one quote star yanking. Okay. I see this added as an object to my Yerba selectors situation. Okay. Now if I do tier, I only have Procore. Why do I only have Procore? Why do I not have tier.sponsors? Am I doing it wrong? I thought we figured this out. I could have sworn we figured this out. Hang on. Was it this one? Oh, that's what it was. We had to take away the, we had to get a sequence so that we could have access to that thing. Okay. Hang on. Okay, I think this works now. Quit. Okay. I'm gonna try calling this again. And this time it should add app signal. Yay! It added app signal! Yay! Good job, us! Woohoo! And Excellent. 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 Good job. Yay. Okay, that's nice. I like that. That makes me happy. That's good. I'm happy with that. Wait, I have to delete this and start from scratch. Because the whole point of this was to test creating it with one that didn't exist. I'm going to copy relative path. There we go. Deleted. I'm going to run this again. Where'd it go? Undefined method for nil. Interesting. Okay, so because tier sponsors does not have a value yet, maybe? This is exactly what I was kind of looking for. I'm going to use binding.irb. I'm going to call this again. Akash says, years ago I cried to have a cat in my home. After a few months, my mom started loving that cat more than me, and now it has grandchildren. One peed on my keyboard and it's dead. And one jumped on my monitor. Poor cat. Yeah, I've had mine since like 2012, I think. They're starting to get up there. Okay. Thank you for following Deloop. Akash says, the cat is alive. My keyboard is dead. That makes so much more sense. I thought you were real casual about your cat dying, and I was like, oh, what happened? Part of me, I'm not gonna lie, part of me was like, did he kill the cat for peeing on his keyboard? But I'm so glad that it's just the keyboard that's dead. Ah, yes, that Elise says my cat is so brave now. She was very timid, but now is definitely into everything. Yeah. Mine are very, like, with the kids running around everywhere, they don't go anywhere. They just kind of like chill out next to me. And they hide places. They still get into bread if we leave bread out though and like chew through the bag. Okay. Sponsors. Nil. I think this makes sense. Let me look up tier. I think this makes sense but ruins my plans. Let me think. How can I get around this? Phantom Glitch says, I'd very much appreciate it if my cats would chill. They can be a lot. Yeah. As I said, I've had my cats since like 2012, so they're very much slowing down. But I remember when they were still little kittens. Oh, we took care of some kittens. So I used to live in this apartment complex and there were a bunch of feral cats and stuff. So we took this mom and her kittens in and we just kind of like let them grow up a little bit and then took them all to the shelter. But like the the baby kittens would just like crawl behind the refrigerator and they would like get up into the cabinet next to the dishwasher and like crawl in through an opening at the bottom. They were like wild. When I remember Pearl and Ruby when they were younger, they like to go hide behind the washing machine and the dryer, and I was like, this is shaking. This is a very large machine. I don't want you back here while I'm like doing laundry. It's a mess. Here's what I'm wondering. If I set this equal to an array, everything breaks. Okay, cool. Dot set new path value. No implicit conversion of array into string. Huh. Lifts of the straight bar says like the space between the cabinets and the floor. Yeah. They would like just like get up in there. Those kittens got into every terrible space possible. Yes. Yes, they did. Yeah. And they peed and pooed on everything. And it was a lot. It was a lot. Let's see. No implicit conversion of array into string. I don't think I want it to be a string. I think I want it to be an array. Let me think. I think the problem is that it returns nil. It would need to return an empty sequence. Can I do something like this is gonna sound weird, but can I do sponsor details for document? Come back here. Nope, that fails too. I have to have a value set in order to set the value. Tier dot set sponsors sponsor details for document. Akash says, cleaning that pee and poo feels horrible. They do it everywhere, on the sofa, on my bed, everywhere. Everywhere, 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 everywhere. Why are you broken? No. Ugh. But and this like should not work. No, it doesn't. What if I tried this and then an array? No. You told Find by where, pluck, sort, remove, add, insert. Insert. No, that's not the right thing. That's a new key. Okay, options. I have discovered that I cannot add empty sponsors tiers. Can I delete the old sponsors section if it's empty and insert one? Can I tier.insert sponsors? That's the value. Can I do this? What is the argument? No implicit conversion of array into string. Why do you keep using a string? I don't want a string. I don't want a string. I don't want a string. I want to write a sequence. I want to write a sequence. Work with sequences using familiar Ruby patterns. Tags equals document tags. Tags YAML. Insert name Rust version 1.0. Swara JTM says, what language are you using? I'm using Ruby and Rails, which should, just throwing it out there, should be, nope, don't look at that. Not this. This? Yeah, shh, not me. Where's the X so I can get to my stream manager? Here we go. Should be in the title. Ruby. Rails. Working on Ruby events. Yes. Okay. That's enough peeling back the thing. Swara says, love from India. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am trying to insert a sequence. And I feel like that should be a thing that I can do. I should be able to add an array at sponsors onto the tier. Implicit conversion of array into string. Well, why do you think it's a string? I will say, okay, so this, if I can explain. Rust compiled into C that is being accessed through Ruby. And the thing that I find is that it tends to care an awful lot about whether it's looking at an array or whether it's looking at a value or a string or whatever. Ruby normally doesn't care. Ruby's normally like, can I insert this? Yeah, okay, whatever, fam, go for it. Which is why I am now struggling. Let me try this. Tier sponsors equals this nonsense. No. Okay, tier sponsors equals this nonsense. No. It's the same thing. It's like, hey, I think this is supposed to be a string. And I'm like, no, it's not. Document.set, document.insert. No. Also, why do you keep calling different values for this? I'm gonna go look at the sequences code myself. I'm going to go open this up. What do you mean? Don't give me 404. No! No! Oh, I need to sign in. This one. Yes. Okay, now I have access again. Lib. Yerba. Sequence. U. Sequence. Initialize. If data is an array, otherwise empty value. Okay. Square brackets index. Okay. Oh, that's an idea. Hang on, that's an idea. Hang on, that's an idea. Okay. What if I do sponsor 0 equals sponsor details for document? No, why? No implicit conversion of hash into string. Why do you expect it to be a string? I should be allowed to, like, chuck a map in there. All of these are type errors. Why do you care? Why do you care? It's an not your job to care. Okay, if connected case item when map insert object selector item to hash. When hash insert object selector item. When scalar insert selector item to YAML. Else formatted format for insert selector formatted. Insert object. Let's see. So this should theoretically handle it. But it looks like this insert object is not gracefully handling situations where it is empty. Concat items. Concat items. If connected hashes equals items map do item case item when map item blah, 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 blah. Let's try that one. Let's try concat. Okay. Tier. Part of the problem is I'm not sure if I should be doing like sponsors. I think I should be doing sponsors. Dot concat. Come on, you. Come on, you. Go. Nothing. Okay, what are you complaining about? Undefined method concat for nil. Okay, that makes sense. Tier sponsors square bracket. Dot concat. No, what are you complaining about? No implicit conversion of hash into array. Hang on. Hang on. What if I do this? Okay. Excellent. Okay. Here. No. What? No. 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 No, that worked. I put the thing in. It ran. It. Hang on. No. Failed. Undefined method concat for nil. Marcy Popsis says, hi, the joy of coding and early celebration. Yes. Yes. Theoretically, this should work. This works if you have an existing value because tier sponsors returns a sequence and we pass it to the sequence. If I do not already have a sequence, I cannot figure out how to get this sucker in there. And what I saw that worked was I called this concat on this, and it gave me back this in array format, which feels like what it is supposed to do, but unfortunately did not do anything at all for me. Sponsors, square brackets. See, this gives me an array, and it's an array of values that are present there. Not very helpful. Be nice if it was helpful. If it understood what an empty array was. It feels like that's the problem here, is it doesn't understand what an empty array is. I'm so close. I'm so close. If I can get it to handle adding a new sponsor to a new tier, I've got it to add an existing sponsor to an existing, or a new sponsor to an existing. Okay, let's back up. I'm just gonna put at the top here the things that I need this to do. And I'm not gonna commit this. This generator can do several things. There we go. 1, create a new sponsor if one does not exist. 2, Add a new sponsor to a specified tier that has existing sponsors. 3, add a new sponsor to the specified tier that doesn't have any sponsors yet. 4, update an existing sponsor's information. I need to be able to add a new sponsor to a specified tier that has existing sponsors. I need to be able to add a new sponsor to the specified tier that doesn't have any sponsors yet. And 5, I'm not going to bother with removing an existing sponsor. If you want to do that, you can just go delete it. What is the other thing that I want to be able to do? I had it a second ago. Create a sponsor, add a new sponsor to the existing tier that has existing sponsors, add a new sponsor to the specified tier that doesn't have any sponsors, update an existing sponsor's information, including moving between tiers. What else? I could just delete the whole tier and replace it. I could do that. That is an available option to me. Right now, we're not actually using this. I guess since we're not actually using it, I can go and delete it. Yeah, I forgot what 5 is, so I'm gonna leave it off for now. This feels like a yerba bug. Delete if. To a, to YAML. Let's see, case item. When scalar, dash item to YAML. When map, item to YAML, gsub / in, empty space, else, item, and join in inspect. Let's see, expand nested criteria, flatten hash, dig values, format for insert, detect quote style, items. Items. Okay, if result is an array and the result is not empty, return the result. Otherwise, give me data document value at selector. Data is a array, question mark data, or empty this. Else data. So if connected, I want the value at the selector. If the result is an array and it's not empty, give me the result. Otherwise, give me the value at the selector. Let's try that. Tier dot value at sponsors. Empty array. I don't think that's gonna help me. Yeah, maybe we need to go up a level. So up a level is gonna be a map. Right? Yeah, I think so. So we have a map. We have a key. Then we have key value. If document exists, document set, document whatever. Is there anything in here about Sequences? No, nothing. Okay. Empty array, there's tons. There are tons. Selector.empty. Okay. Keys. Unless result is an array and results first is a hash, results does first does keys. I hate this. Why is it so complicated? Value at key. Delete key. I feel like I should be able to just like... Let me try this. Tier. Delete. Sponsors. Cool. I no longer have a sponsors. So now I want to set sponsors equal to an array of sponsor details dot for document. And it fails because it is expecting undefined method set for an instance of yerba map. Cool. What do you expect then? You expect equals. What? Equals key comma value. That doesn't make sense, but okay. Tier equals. Let me try this. Okay. Tier. No. No, that's not right. Nope. Nope, that's not right. Nope, that's not right. Nope. Phantom Glitch says, I'm now realizing why people complain about Adobe Lightroom's RAM usage. Why do people complain about Adobe Lightroom's RAM usage? Also, why is this? Okay. I'm gonna quit. Yep, and that's gonna fail. I'm gonna try this again. Okay. Tier. This is a yerba map. I'm gonna tier dot delete sponsors. Great. Tier sponsors. Can I just do like 0 equals sponsor details dot for document. Lightroom is currently using 26 gigabytes of RAM to import my photos from yesterday. That is wild. That is huge. Let's see. No implicit conversion of hash into string. Okay. Show me this document insert nonsense. I'm gonna go all the way up to the document. I don't mind. Control F. Insert. Oh, it goes to Rust. Mouse Foop says yerba map sounded like yerba mate for me. Yup. It's definitely supposed to. have to fix Yerba before I can fix this. Because I think what's happening... Yeah. I think I have to fix Yerba before I can get this working. I can use it for adding existing tiers, but it doesn't work for new tiers. We should have a test for each of these scenarios up here. So like if I go over here to my sponsor generator test, I'm gonna copy my relative path. I'm gonna do bin rails test this path. All right, let's see. No method error, undefined method, this for nil. Yeah. Generator adds a new sponsor. Generator... Hang on. Let's start at the top. Generator creates a sponsors.yaml file and adds a sponsor. First sponsor. Ooh, what if I made that optional? All of these are optional. Technically, I just need tiers. Let's see. Yeah, I think that should be optional. Because then what I can do is I can create my sponsor file at the very beginning when I create my class. Okay. 5. Create empty sponsor file with specified tiers. So here's what I'm thinking. If I do this, what I can actually do is I can create my sponsor file with the event itself, because oftentimes when the event first comes out, we have the event with the ticket, we have the venue for the event, and we have the sponsorship tiers, but there are no sponsors, no speakers, no videos, no anything like that. If I have this, what I can do is I can say like, hey, I want to create a new sponsor file that has the tiers but 0 sponsors in them. Unfortunately, this one right now is failing. And the reason being that like when I get a sequence back from Yerba, it's nil. And yeah, that's not great. We haven't attempted updating an existing sponsor's information. Okay, I think I remember what 5 is. 5. And that one's failing but not blocked. Pull sponsor information from other sponsor files. Yay. And I'm gonna call this one locked. Okay, so we're gonna make a couple tests for this, and then I think I'm gonna wrap this stream up. So generator creates a sponsors.yaml and adds a first sponsor. Good. Generator adds a new sponsor to a specified tier with existing sponsors. Yeah, so this is going to be case 2. So this one, if we're generating the sponsors.yaml and adding a first sponsor, that's going to handle my like there's no sponsors in here test. All right, so now I'm gonna make another test. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what I want. Yes. Yep. This is pretty much exactly what I want. Yeah, that's flawless. Perfect. Okay. I'm actually gonna run that one and see where it feels. Okay, so I want the first one. I don't want all of these. This is very cramped. Clear. Pull this up. There we go. That's better. I have a little more space now. Okay, so this is for create sponsor and adds a first sponsor. This one is creates an empty sponsor file with tier, and this is undefined method, square brackets for nil, square brackets for nil. Okay, so all of these are related to the fact that this line right here does not work. Perfect. Here's what I'm gonna do. This is ensure file exists. I'm gonna take this unless file exists, promote it here. No, not end. There we go. Tap that. And yes, I want that end. And then I'm gonna put in here, say, creating new sponsors file in green. Took says his form with the go-to in Rails nowadays because I saw a video where he worked with simple form. People use both. People use both. I've definitely seen simple form in production before, and I've seen it in there for a while. And I've also been working with a lot of forms that just use normal Rails form helpers. Yeah, so you can see here I'm like setting up the thing to support this. Creating new sponsor file, green. That gets my tiers, that gets my sponsor file. This gets my sponsors document. This tries to find and delete existing sponsor and file. I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to take all of this. You know what? I'm going to actually add a private method. And this is going to be def. And I'm thinking like sponsor sponsor details provided. And this is going to be like an or situation. Not tier. I think the name or the website. I don't think I allowed them to pass the slug. I don't. Name, website, logo URL I don't think is enough to figure out who this is. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. So then here I'll say if sponsor details provided. I want to do all of these things. No. So annoying. If sponsor details provided. I'm gonna take all this. No, none of this. No, stop doing this. Ah! I am full of so much rage. I wonder how often, like, GitHub is like, they accepted our suggestion. And it's just someone like me who's like, this is annoying. Mouse Foop says rage-driven development. That's how I'm feeling. Okay, so this is find and delete existing sponsor in file. I'm gonna go in here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna return in the sponsor details provided. Yep. Deleting existing sponsor. So what I do is I just delete the existing sponsor and then I add a new one. Instead of like trying to mutate it or anything like that, I'm just like, no, I'll delete it and add a new one. It's fine. Deadticon says you are trying to use mouse with Vim mode. I use both. I use whatever makes me happy. Also, how am I supposed to swap between all of these tabs if I don't have a mouse? So like if my hand's on the mouse, I'll use a mouse. Also, I think it's dumb to be like, I'm gonna jump down 10. Okay, now I'm just gonna jump up 3. Do you know how fast my mouse is at like picking something? Boom. Where do I wanna be? Here. Where do I wanna be? Here. It's so fast. Why am I? And like, if you're doing like multi-line, whatever, like I've got this find TT name value down case equals blah, 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 blah. Here. I'm not like, go, 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 go. No, none of that. None of that, like, let me just do whatever. Or like, what is it? K, J, L. I want to go 10L, 30L. No. Why am I going to do that? And you know what? My wrists are great. I'm very happy with my wrists. Generated sponsors with sponsors organized into tiers. That's not really accurate. Generated sponsors.yaml file for a given event. If the file already exists, add the sponsor in the correct tier. If the sponsor already exists, the file updates the existing sponsor record. Tiers can only be added on the first pass. Mouse Hoops says, I heard it's no longer a mouse, it's a hamster now since there's no cord anymore, usually. My little hamster. Deadticon says you can press Control 1 or Control 2 to change file. Now I have to remember that though. I have to be like, okay, what is my like Control 1? What just happened? This is what happens when I press Control 1, Deadticon. Oh, that's kind of cool actually. Listen, we're going to talk about generating a sponsors.yaml file. Hang on a second. I think it says WTF. Hang on, let me see what 2 does. 2 created this like little blue thing. I think you have like a hotkey or something that you forgot about. Okay. First, I'm going to create a sponsors.yaml and add the first sponsor. Generator creates an empty sponsor file with specified tiers. This adds the first sponsor, adds a sponsor to the specified tier with existing sponsors. Okay, these both have to be platinum. Because that's how I test that it actually like does the thing I want it to do. Okay, generator adds a new sponsor to a tier with existing sponsors. And I want to confirm a couple of things. I want to confirm that Braze exists. And I want to confirm typesense sponsor removed. Should not have been updated. There. That's exactly what I want. And this typesense check confirms that it's that. On Mac, I can Command Shift square brackets. I don't know how to do this on Windows. Command Shift square bracket. Oh. Oh. Well, I like that. Okay, let's look through this. Generator creates an empty sponsor file with specified tiers. Generator creates a sponsors.yaml and adds a first sponsor. Generator creates a new sponsor to tier with existing sponsors. I thought we had like 5 of these. I added like 5 of these. What are they? Add a new sponsor that has existing sponsors. Yep. Doesn't have any sponsors. Update an existing sponsor's information. Pull sponsor information from the other sponsor files. Create an empty sponsor file with... Yeah. Create a new sponsor, a new empty sponsors file with specified tiers. There we go. Now we're down to 5. Okay. I'm gonna go over here. I've got 1, I've got 2, I've got 3. Test. Generator updates an existing sponsor's information. We're gonna create type sense. I really want to change type senses tier. So type sense is gonna start as a gold sponsor, and then they're gonna get upgraded to platinum. And I'm just gonna pass their name. No, this is the point. I have no way of confirming that this is in that tier. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to write a better test for this. Can I like manually edit it to test that I'm testing this? Maybe. This is not what I want at all. I want generator pulls sponsor information from other sponsor files. Okay, quick question. In mini test, is there like a skip? What is it? Is it like, I don't know, exit? This is not what I want. File path, run generator. I mean, yes, I need to make the file, but I want to make it like with a thing. Comma, space, dash, dash. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Good old type sense. I'm gonna delete through comma. I'm gonna literally go in here and just like delete everything except for type sense and the tier. And the thing I want to check for is does it contain... Yeah. Perfect. Ooh. Yes, Adelie says, put skip as the first line in the test. It's a method. Yeah. Miles Hoop says, I guess a hacky way would be to add break and see if it works, but I don't know. The real answer is the skip feature. Okay, let's try this. I'm gonna go in here. Skip. Implement later. I like this because we have the smiley face elsewhere. Yes, Adelie says you can also pass a string comment to tell future you why you skipped it. Yes, I like that. Okay, generator updates and existing sponsors. Skip. Coming soon. I think this one actually does need to be done like now-ish, but I need to test it. AK implement never! No, are you kidding me? This would clean up our data so much. Because so often, like, people have to come up with a slug for the sponsors, and the slugs they come up with don't match the existing sponsor slugs. So yeah, I want that to happen. Okay. Generator creates the sponsors and adds a first sponsor. So this one is gonna get skip blocked. Cannot add to empty array. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna run my tests. Ooh, undefined method. No, wait, hang on. Adds a new sponsor to a tier with existing sponsors. I thought that one worked. Hang on. I thought this one worked. I'm gonna try adding square brackets and running it again. Undefined method this for nil. Okay, wait. Type send sponsor not added to the correct tier. Also, it's missing, but it passes. We got this one working. I could have sworn we got this one working. Hang on, let's give our good friends over at what was it called? Hang on, we modified it today. It's the one with the piano. It's the one with the piano. Who has the piano? RubyConf AT. RubyConf. Thank you for following, Aramok. RubyConf AT. RubyConf Austria? Maybe? RubyConf Austria? Okay, App Signal Team Taylor Undercover. Let's go test this out with Undercover. How far back do we have to go? Rails world. Here we go. We need to get the logo URL. Okay. Copy image address. Copy image address. It's gold online. That's right. I mean, I thought we were even able to, like, change them. Okay, and then we're gonna copy link address. Yeah. And then the name is Undercover. Okay. Is that all right? That all looks right. It's running. It failed. What? Undefined method split for nil. Oh, come on. There. Got it. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. Good. Good. This is what I want. Tier. Sponsors. That's correct. That's the sequence. We want the sequence because the sequence understands this, which added Undercover. Then what's wrong? And then we do wait, now I'm confused. I just called the exact code that we have right here. Okay, and we'll just do RubyConf Austria 2026. Why do you have no changes? Oh, you do have changes. That's exactly what you're supposed to have. That's exactly what you're supposed to have. Why'd you add twice? Because I called you twice. Okay, so then if I look at this test, what am I doing here? I have a create an empty sponsor file with the specified tiers. This should now pass. This is blocked. But this one should work. I have, oh! This doesn't work until I can add an existing file! Ah, butts. Okay. Skip. Cannot generate file with empty sponsors array. Hang on. Angry face. This is not a happy face situation. This is an angry face situation. I could theoretically just be like, here's the YAML file. Run it on this YAML file. But I have the generator. Like, I might as well. But obviously that doesn't work right now. Okay. So out of my specs, all of them except for one are skipped. Ah! Okay. I have specs written. Git commit -pm. All modifications, no new files. And we're gonna call this one. Irimak says good test coverage. I've got good test coverage. It's just none of them pass. Okay, git commit -pm, and we're gonna say commit skipped specs for intended functionality. Denticon says you are not a vibe coder, you are a rage coder. Honestly, right now, yes, a little bit. I cannot add to a sequence that is empty. Ergo, I cannot create files from scratch using Yerba. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time, which is, ooh, I like this. The platinum has an extra space thing at the end though. Platinum. There we go. See, and I need to come back here. Yeah, I'm gonna say no to this because I've now captured all of this in my specs. Denticon says I wanted to start learning Ruby, but I remembered that I already know Java. Yeah. Okay, so this is yes. This is yes to all of this. Yes to that. Yes to the new little commenty stuff. Yes to that. Yes to all of this. Yes to deleting that file. Yes, these are all the new spec changes. I'm gonna push this, and then I'm gonna spend next week working on these. Now, I have to get over to my parents, who are expecting to see my kids. So unfortunately for you all, it is time to roll some credits. Hang on, over here. thank you all so much for coming. It's been so nice to see you all. Thank you for following Iramak, Dayloop, Sire FX, George Orbad, Felion, Fernand Luis, and thank you, Phantom Glitch, for the 5-month subscription. Thank you to my moderator, Lifts with a Straight Bar, for keeping things friendly and fun in chat, and Cursos de Desarrollo for the beautiful 20-person raid, which is fantastic. And Elise, it was nice to see you again. All right, and Miles Foop, it was nice to see you again as well. Phantom Glitch says, thank you for having us. Thank you for coming by.